The American President Donald Trump's tariffs on China has turned into an unprecedented trade war between the two nations. Now, experts have cautioned that American tariffs on Beijing could serve as a litmus test for China to withstand the Western economic pressure in the event of any crisis over the Taiwan Strait. Now, China has announced that it has increased its tariffs on U.S. imports to 125%, warning that the rate is pretty high enough to effectively dampen the U.S. access to Chinese markets. China's response has come after the White House stated that it was actually imposing tariffs totaling 145% in China, combining the previously announced 125% rate with a 20% import tax that was levied for what it calls fentanyl smuggling.
Look, the tariff rate on China remains where it was yesterday at the 145% level. The president made it very clear when the United States is punched, he will punch back harder. And he hopes to make a deal that benefits the American worker and our companies that have been ripped off for far too long.
Washington's tariff rate on the Chinese imports is close to the punitive amount that President Donald Trump had previously threatened to Beijing if it were to attack Taiwan. The United States does not regard the self-governed Taiwan as an independent state. Washington is opposed to any unilateral change to the status quo and remains committed to supplying arms for the defense of the island's autonomy. Now, Beijing considers the island to be an inalienable part and insists on unification with Taiwan. A Bloomberg report estimated the cost of a potential war in the Taiwan Strait at around $10 trillion, which is equal to about 10% of the global GDP. The report also assumed a complete cut in the Taiwan Strait and an almost total end to U.S.-China trade. The reports suggest that Pentagon has placed the security of Taiwan as a priority, while Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth has promised a robust, ready and credible deterrence across the Taiwan Straits. Now, experts have warned that continuation of the trade war between the United States and China will embolden Beijing across the Taiwan Strait and will further impact the global economy. For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.